Merle has a giant bag of drugs that he's been collecting. He's got what? Apparently, Merle is like a drug connoisseur because he's got blue crystal
pharmacist.
meth. He's got the blue crystal meth from Breaking Bad.
Right.
He's got ecstasy. He's got antibiotics, painkillers, everything you need.
Right.
In
the
this
good
bag.
stuff too, because the
really good stuff.
Merle got a lot of VD.
Yeah, the clap.
Which I gotta think that's all due to rape, because what woman?
People raping Merle?
No. I mean, what woman would willingly lay down with Merle?
I don't know, man. They're out there. I guarantee it. We probably have some listeners.
I guess that's the bag, the candy bag. That's what that's purpose is for.
Just shakes it and they come running.
Also, roofies. Yeah. Roofies were in that candy bag for
lots
sure.
Lots of roofies.
I think I just answered my own question.
Absolutely.
Like I said, rape.
So, also before they get in trouble there at the end, Rick is acting like a dumbass. He's saying that he wants to go out. Where does he want to go? I can't remember. He wants to go out and, like, look for Sophia or something, or help Shane.
What are you talking about?
Rick wants to go back out after Lori gets there. He wants to go back out for something. I can't remember what it is.
I don't know. I'm not even sure I remember that scene.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was actually a good scene between Rick and Lori. It was the first time that I really, like, felt for Lori, her situation, because she was telling Rick, like, you need to be here. I can't go through this again, because this is the second time that she's had a family member dying from a gunshot wound.
Right.
I really felt for her in this
scene.
Which
is a very artful thing that the writers did, the book in this.
Yes.
With Rick getting shot and Carl and Lori reacting to news, and then Carl getting shot and Rick and Lori dealing with it. I thought that was really artfully done.
Definitely.
Very highbrow for a zombie film show.
For sure. Well, that's what they're going for. So the final scene, we get Shane and Otis. They get the goods and they get trapped.
Yeah.
They get trapped in the high school. Now, I couldn't tell where they were once they get into this high school. They bust down the doors. They shoot the doors out.
Yeah.
Pull the gate closed, and then just stand there.
Surely that's got to be some kind of vestibule.
I'm thinking it may be doors, like they're between two sets of doors.
Right, but that's... I don't know. This show's got a fetish for live humans prancing around in front of zombies behind a flimsy barrier. We saw that in the second episode of or maybe third episode of the first season, where they're, window shopping for jewelry in front of a horde of angry zombies. Mm-hmm. So, like, the correct response would be to break in whatever door leads to the school proper and hightail down that. But
but they're going for. It seems like they go for drama at the expense of realism, at the expense of believability.
Which is fine.
It's not fine.
A point. Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think there's appropriate times where you can, because, for example, you liked in Breaking Bad when they slammed two jetliners together.
Sure.
I thought it was goddamn ridiculous and almost stopped watching the show. So it's like different strokes for different folks. I could see that some people, and it was uncomfortable. Like all those damn zombies with their arms through and, making the sleazack noises.
Sure, yeah, that was very
especially for a horror pussy like me, it had me on the edge of my seat. So, but yeah, I think that the show could do a little bit more to wring the same amount of terror and not have the scares be so cheap, I guess.
Well, if we want to take it back to Breaking Bad would rack up the tension and the drama by lingering on a shot of someone who is contemplating something that just happened. I don't think these guys are thinking about what just happened with the zombie encounter. They're still scared and they're just sitting there being stupid. I don't get why they're just standing there.
Yeah, their flight response would be so that they wouldn't stop running as soon as they got the door shut.
They wouldn't stop running until they feel that they're safe.
Yeah.
And I don't think they felt safe right there.
Right.
They didn't look like it anyway.
Or maybe one of them locks up, like Otis, but then Shane goes, "We got to go," and then they take off. But they wanted to end on a cliffhanger, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So that's it. That's the end of the episode. That's the end of the recap. Are we going to go straight into listener feedback?
Yes, we will.
Okay, why don't you take us there?
So we're going to do the first episode first, and we got some from the second episode. First, Eric Walquist. I'm going to use his last name since he's a public figure.
Oh.
He's our buddy from...
Governor of Utah. No,
no, he's our buddy from Personal Arrogance, who's we go way back in the podcasting business. If you don't have enough general geek-type podcasts in your life, you could do worse than listening to Personal Arrogance.
Yeah.
At personalarrogance.com. He sent us on Facebook. He said, "Hey, love the episode, guys. Shared a lot of the same opinions." And we talked a little bit about, back and forth. It's funny because we had half of our listeners say, thank you so much for, not being fanboys and telling it like it is in Walking Dead. And we had half the listeners say, you guys are being too mean to Walking Dead, and we hate your show, and we're giving you 1-star review on iTunes.
Yeah.
And,
which is fun. Whatever. If they want to leave 1-star reviews, go for it.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Everybody has an opinion,
We got the reaction. And why do you think that is? I'll give you one of the more positive negative feedbacks from Nerdy Baker. She says, guys, I was a bit upset with your podcast. I don't mind your criticisms overall to show and agree with some, but I really have a problem with some. Like, if you're going to have Shane keep looking like the bad guy, then have him keep looking like the bad guy. You guys complain about writing it. You want a black and white bad guy instead of something complicated. Do you think he would ever have attempted to rape anyone besides Lori? I don't think so. I've got a couple problems there, Nerdy Baker. One is you can have a complex villain. A lot of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, The Wire, Mad Men, chock full of complicated villains.
Yeah.
What you can't have is a guy who is portrayed as basically a good guy and then a guy who almost rapes his friend. And to me, that's just a line. And once a character crosses that, it's like if Shane had murdered Rick, like he was kind of somewhat tempted to do. Yeah. I can understand the motivation. But then at the next episode, the writers had him portrayed in a sympathetic light. I would be like, what?
Yeah.
Part of characterization is something that you can anchor and understand and get in that person's shoes. And if they keep yanking you back and forth from good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy, you have to do those shifts a little bit more slowly and subtly, I guess.
Absolutely.
If you want us to connect and have empathy with the characters.
Like, that's the thing to me is Shane and Lori both seem very, very schizophrenic. They seem almost like two different characters rolled into one. At one point, they're all about doing the right thing. The next point, they're raping somebody. Like, it doesn't, and then after the rape, they go back to wanting to do the right thing. It just doesn't, like you said, anchor the character in any sort of moral position.
I'm sure there's people right now screaming at their iMacs, it's a zombie apocalypse, people are not acting themselves, it's loss of humanity. And it's like, okay. Right. But like Merle, if let's say he didn't get chained on the roof and he remained with the group, if the next episode we had a flashback of him buying flowers or helping a little old black lady with her groceries, we'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's the kind of example. So it's like, I don't mind him being shades of gray, but black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, flashing so back and forth that it's supposed to look gray, it seems amateurish to me.
Yeah.
She continues, I never thought he left Rick in the hospital out of malice or just wanting Rick's family for himself. Agree. I guess you are all glad that you got your clarification in the finale, but I never had a doubt. But why? The writers gave, I guess I can't disagree with your feelings, but I don't think the writers gave you anything to base that on other than you just thought it would work out that way. Because what evidence did you have that he didn't abandon Rick in the hospital?
Sure. There wasn't any. We didn't know anything about that backstory.
Right. I also never doubted that although he put Rick in his sights, that he was not going to pull the trigger. But seriously, if I was him, I would have been toying with that idea a lot sooner. Again, yeah, fine. Toying with the idea, I actually thought that scene was okay, too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty effective.
I didn't have the problem. I'm really omitting the rape, and I kind of, that would have been I would be fine with everything in Shane's arc except for that one. And I think I already said this earlier in the episode. So because it's a big deal, man.
Yeah,
I don't care how crazy you are and how racked with grief or confused. It's not cool.
It's not cool, man.
It's like, for example, if Rick savagely beat Carl because Carl gave him lip.
That'd be horrible.
You can't say, well, zombie apocalypse, man.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not cool. Same thing with Carol's dumbass husband, beating her.
Yep.
Obviously, that was a pattern with his character, but if it had just been some out of the blue thing, that wouldn't be cool either.
Well, see, I thought they worked that pretty well. We knew that her husband was an asshole,
right?
And he was clearly an asshole,
right?
And
Shane beat the motherfucker down,
absolutely.
So, which again, I confused. I was like, "Well, how am I supposed to feel about this guy?"
I felt pretty positive about that.
Yes, I felt.
Shane was a good
that's
guy
what
there.
I meant. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
They kind of played him, but again, that's the kind of I like that. Again, I think I'm only complaining about the rape scene. If that was out of there, or if they handled it differently, like he could have been kind of pawing at her and like, why don't you love me? It's like, this is right, but he forced himself on her physically, and that was the tough one for me to take. So. She says, I'm not really a Shane fan. I just think he's human. You know, what a concept. So again, there's human, and then there's crossing lines that are hard for me as a viewer to walk back from.
And I'm not going to say that Nerdy Baker is wrong. I mean, that's obviously her opinion on what's happened in Shane's characterization. But I guess we're just not seeing eye to eye. We're not reasoning it the same way. You know?
Right. I got another. I'm gonna read another feedback, and then I got one off of iTunes I wanted to read.
Okay.
Our friend Geraldine from another podcast buddy of ours from the Because Show.
We have too many podcasting friends.
Which I love her show, and I'm not even the target demo for it. I don't think. If you want to listen to some really cool, funny moms talk about life and fun stuff.
Life and stuff, life, love, and licorice.
Yeah, like you know, not zombies and not methamphetamine, but mom stuff.
Yeah, non-zombie apocalypse.
Check out their show, The Because Show. She says, "Okay, I'm calling you out. You said that this episode is handed off to Darabont's second in command once he left. However, direction credit is giving to Ernest Dickerson, who's also very A-list, well respected, and directed episodes of The Wire." And I'm like, I responded like the Darabont actually pulled his credits from all the Walking Deads.
Yeah.
Or the ones coming out. He's using a pseudonym now. But I didn't mean like honestly that this guy was going to direct everything, because I don't think Darabont directed everything.
No,
he did writing and he did the production and all that kind of stuff.
And he's still credited there with the series creator and producer.
Sure. But so the other thing is I didn't do a lot of research. I didn't have we were going to do the kind of the 2-week lead up and get more, and that story had come out I think that afternoon, so I didn't have a chance to analyze herself. So
yeah, we were expecting not to have to do a cast until a week from now.
Right.
So
we were going to do like a half-hour introduction, a half-hour what's the news, what did we miss since last episode. All
didn't
that
get that luxury. Yep.
So anyway, Kevin asks us, I can't seem to find your Walking Dead on the Zune Marketplace. Are you just doing iTunes? As a Zune owner, I'm outraged, and we will fix that.
I had to sign up for Zune, and it was a big hassle.
We will have that fixed within a fortnight, I promise you.
How long is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have to get my old-timey conversion.
Move on.
Mike from Illinois, really enjoyed the podcast. Looked all over last year for an honest podcast about The Walking Dead, and now I've found it. Your honest discussion is about the good, the bad, the ugly. The show is refreshing.
Well, thank you.
And that was the other side of the coin we got.
Yeah.
He continues, the group needs to act with urgency and sensibility, not the horseshit we're forced to endure. Daryl's a badass, Rick is milquetoast, Shane is nuts, Dale is a dick, Carol's a whiny bitch, and Carl reminds me of the kid from The Shining. Right?
Yeah, he's spot on everyone.
I mean, I feel bad for saying the kid is creepy now that he got shot, but the kid was creepy.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder how he's going to age into this role.
Imagine how creepy he would be as a zombie.
Whoa. Have you ever heard of an audio drama on iTunes called We're Alive? It's a zombie apocalypse drama that's very well done, and the cast of The Walking Dead would not last a second in it. I need to check that out.
I feel like I have listened to some of that. Something about a river crossing in I don't know.
Well,
it's been a long time.
If you're fans of zombie lore, Mike from Illinois highly recommends the podcast We're Alive.
Highly or hardly?
Highly.
Okay.
I stuttered. Sorry. One other I'm going to finish the feedback for this week. Professional podcast critic Daniel W.B. said, accurate critique of a very uneven season opener, doing your part to balance out the Walking Dead fanboy casting ratio. Don't bail on us yet. This is fun. He says, clearly the character development is the weakest aspect of the show, and that is now fully relying on the shock and awe provided by the shufflers. Speaking of which, the two walkers in the forest looked like they could have started for the 2011 Colts. Hey, now!
Ooh, low blow.
Harsh but fair. Just like our cast.
They got destroyed last weekend, didn't they?
Harsh, historically so.
Yeah.
Moving on. He says the church soliloquies were brutal. The second go-around had me rummaging for the remote. And what were those three zombies doing in the church anyway? They may be slow, but they're always on the move. Like I said, in the show lore, the zombies tend to, in absence of fresh meat to chase, do things that they find familiar about their former lives.
Yeah.
Which I think is also incredibly fucking creepy.
Sure.
Like the zombies sitting there praying in the pews and like the mom trying to get back in the house. That is creepy.
Yeah, when they exhibit any qualities of a human, it's very, very creepy to see these. Because essentially we think of them as creatures, just
they are,
these bizarre monsters. But when they exhibit human qualities, ooh,
they have that flash of recognition of what they once were, and it just makes them. Ugh. He says 1 minute Carl's mom has one of those kitty leashes harnessed on him. The next he's leading a charge into the wilderness again. Great point. Yep. They could have done that with better writing. Like she'd been like over my dead body, and Rick's like, the kid's got to be we're in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
kid's got to be a man,
schizophrenic,
overriding or whatever. But she's like smiling and saying, "Go off with your dad." I mean, yeah. He did defend the show. This early in the apocalypse, I think the group would devote some serious time searching for the girl. It's not like they really have anywhere else to go. He'd say a 2-day minimum search, which.
Okay.
They're right.
It's been about 2 days, hasn't it?
Yeah. So but he's saying that's minimum for a group this size, this new, this early on into the zombie apocalypse.
I say do the minimum. Get the hell out of there.
Well, yeah. You have no heart and no soul.
But also, they do have somewhere to go. They're heading to Fort Benning or Bennett or Bonjo, whatever it is.
There's one of the clues that some of the Walking Dead fanboys are insane. I saw a professional critic get savaged by people in the comment section because he's got Bennett and Benning confused.
Yeah,
and
ridiculous.
The comments were along the lines of, if you can't get a detail like that right, I'm not even going to read the rest of your review. I'm like, come on, people.
Seriously, totally inconsequential
and they're accusing him of nitpicking, by the way.
Oh, are they? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Benning, Bennett, that's not a nitpick.
Yeah, no.
Jesse from VA... overall likes her show, but he says, I gotta say, I don't think you get it. You two seem to be all about the zombies and such. That's not the point of The Walking Dead. Zombies are a backdrop. Survival is the key. The people are more dangerous than the zombies, and the zombies are just there and only sometimes a major threat. That's why I like the first season so much. It was true to the graphic novels and not just your typical zombie fiction. The drama in the show is important. You two complain about it, but that's the point. I'm actually confused, Jesse from Virginia, because we are all about the drama.
Yeah, I don't want to be a dick, but I think you don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't think you get our podcast.
Well, we were a little drunk last week. Maybe we did a bad job.
Were we?
Yeah, man. We had like a bottle of the red in us.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, if this was just a zombie show, we would not be covering it.
Exactly. It's not just a zombie comic. It's not just a zombie show.
Right.
They deal with details and issues that we want to see, and we want to see them dealt with consistently and intelligently, and so far that has not been done. Right. And that's what we're railing against. I don't get me wrong, I love a good zombie bash, a good zompocalypse as much as anybody else.
Right.
I like action, I like killing zombies and humans and whatever. But I also want to see that drama that they just haven't delivered on. You need strong characterization to make those points within, like, between the zombie attacks, like you said, worth a damn.
Yes.
You need strong characters with clear motivations. And I actually wrote an article about this on our website yesterday that said exactly this, that you need to have strong characters, and I need to understand what their motivations are to overcome the motivation of survival.
Right.
And to make the show not just about survival.
Right. And
because that's the default mode in Zombie World, like you said.
Yeah. And if you don't care about the characters, you don't care if they get eaten. And then the show is just about gore.
Yeah.
Which, again, I wouldn't do a podcast on.
Sure. So we're in agreement there. I don't know what the issue is.
His theory is that Lori is batshit insane because she's with child, which is a popular theory.
That is a popular theory. That could be what Jenner said to Rick at the end of last season.
And it's the mood swings and hormones that got a hold of her sanity. He also says, speaking of hardcore atheists, he is one. I think one of you may be a closeted atheist, and that's a shame. He must be talking about me because you actually outed yourself.
Did I?
Yeah, last week.
Ah, you just outed me. I don't think I did.
I'm officially calling you out, though, and yes, I was rolling my eyes at the church scenes. I can enjoy religious music and even literature, but these scenes are, well, just quite frankly dumb. Okay, so yeah, you're an atheist. I'm agnostic, or I prefer
you're
to
call... You're just a pussy.
No, I actually call myself...
You won't admit it.
I call myself an apathist. Because I grew up as a fundamentalist Christian, and I just don't care to think about God now.
Which means you are a God, Walking Dead God scene apathist as well. You just don't care when he's praying.
Yeah.
You just don't care when people are appealing to a higher power.
That's accurate. So it's like I haven't given enough thought to say if I definitively don't believe in God or not, and I'm not going to, because I've already thought too much about God already.
Yeah.
So hope I didn't piss anybody off, including the hardcore atheist, but there it is. Before we get on to the feedback in the second episode, I wanted to mention another review from iTunes that, why can't I get this up? Let's see. And I'm only reading it not because of the criticism, but the FRG FBS said, I used to love these guys. I've listened to all the Breaking Bad podcasts, but I'm not sure the one guy uses the word retarded so often. Use your brain. Using a word like that is unnecessary and hurtful to people who can't defend themselves. All right, so that's a fair criticism. I don't know that I agree with it, but I'm willing to have my mind open. So if the listeners want to educate me about, and I'm not a PC guy, but as I've talked about before, I've made strides in I don't have a lot of hate in my heart, but I do have a lot of ignorance in my mind. So in the last few years, I've moved away from saying things are gay and, using the other F word that's derogative for gay people because I see it as hurtful. And I've done that with a lot of other things as people bring them to my attention. And I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to agree with you, but I would like to, if you want to write me at Watching Dead at baldmove.com and let me know about why in particular this word. Because here's my defense. I grew up with a retarded kid. Me and Jim both. He was in our gaming group, and we hung out with him on a weekly basis. And we used the word retarded all the time. And nobody seemed to take offense at it. It literally means, mentally challenged, developmentally challenged, and using it in the context of something stupid that or illogical that the writers use seem like it's a correct usage of the word.
Okay. So, I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole, man.
It's coward.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I just want
That's offensive to cowards everywhere.
People are courage deficient. No, I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm also not going to just roll over and say, okay, this guy's saying it's unnecessary and hurtful. I'm not going to limit my vocabulary unless I feel like I've got a good reason for it. So if you want to write back and elaborate more on that, I'll stew on it. Moving on, you got any other, just moving on to the next episode's feedback?
Yeah, go ahead.
Michael M. Talking about the flashback says, awesome backstory. Knowing the people is the most entertaining part of the series, and knowing these people in their ordinary lives is enormously powerful and revealing.
Yeah.
Totally agree. He says, we now see that Shane and Lori are very close. Shane, is the family friend that delivers the most intimate of news. We also see or are reminded of how close Shane and Rick really are, which I say we really needed. Shane wiping the blood off Rick's son from his face. That was extremely well done and effective. I think the first 3 minutes of this episode are very good, very revealing. Shane and Daryl step up as candidates for leader, encouraging... They step up as candidates for leader/encourager, bypassing Rick in my estimation. Agree or disagree?
I think Rick was kind of out of commission, or he would have been doing the things that they were doing. He would have gone to the high school if they needed something, if it wasn't his kid or whatever. So, they are stepping up, for sure, but Rick was incapacitated.
He says the group is now separated into 3, which has made the story much more interesting for me. I agree. Having the one big group, it's hard to get everybody's story in and to get everybody's motivations and have everyone to have a say.
That is true, and they actually ended up doing this a lot in Lost as well, where you have the big ensemble cast. Sometimes it's smart to split them up, give them all different missions.
Especially since it made sense. They had valid reasons. It wasn't just my feelings are hurt and I'm going to take my Volkswagen and ride off into the sunset,
Yeah, like I said, the point where they needed to go get medical supplies, that seems like a very logical reason for the group to split up.
Michael continues, I like it that it appears Lori and Shane will be together alone again. This is an interesting angle on their three-sided relationship, and it really reminded me that the show is not about zombies, it's about the people and how they interact among each other.
He does know that Otis is not Lori, right?
What?
Lori and Shane are going to be alone together?
Well,
when?
I guess he's projecting to the future.
Okay, because right now he's stuck with Otis, and I don't think they're getting it on.
No.
Maybe he's going to try to rape Otis.
Although Rick and Shane looked like they were having a moment, and and Herschel walked in and was kind of,
wow.
You know, those Georgia plantation owners, they don't truck with zombies or the homosexuals.
They do not.
Yeah, both. Yeah. So anyway, let's see.
Were you going to say something intelligent about that email? Because I totally sidetracked it.
No, well, he continues.
Okay.
The silly angles. He said, Sophia's about to enter her second night alone in the woods. This seems the hardest plot point to swallow. You're assuming that she comes back alive. I don't know. I don't know that I don't know that that's going to be true.
I would have a hard time with her coming back alive at this point.
And I don't like her as a character, and we've already got one kid, so...
Unless they find her with, like, a group of other people who have somehow, like, cleared out the church or something, maybe that could tie it all back together. But, man, a girl out in the woods alone, even without zombies, is not going to fare well. You add in the zombies, and there's no way she's coming back.
He also didn't like the plot angle on T-Dog. He said Dale peeks at his wound, he squeals in pain. Hey, look, man, T-Dog should have died from that wound.
Easily.
So I can buy that you take the duct tape off and you would squeal a little bit, having that kind of deep wound.
Yeah.
He said T-Dog's philosophy and Dale's attempt to understand it is equally lame. I like T-Dog's philosophy. Dale's attempt to understand it was like a dog, you know. It looked like a dog if you say the word food to it. And they're like just kind of turning their head left and like, what? Yeah. Racism? Suspicion of white rednecks? What? Oh, yeah, that's a little bit much for me.
Sure.
The ever-bold John P. from Portland makes a stunning return to form. He says, holy shit, coherent, distinguishing character development, likable characters. Was this really an episode of The Walking Dead? Hey, now.
Yeah.
Seriously, last night's episode was fantastic. Agreed. One, I'm still a little concerned with this characterization of Rick. I think he's just a bit too emotional in the show. Obviously, it's a bit more understandable with last night's episode, but I can't imagine him, or I just imagine him being more strong in his outward appearance. Of course, they could be starting him off this way in order to break him down and harden him to make him, more of a leader. Which that's what I think, that they breaking him down to rock bottom before he comes back up.
Well, to me, this episode was the point where he broke down. It was God's big fuck you to him, right? Like, here's your sign.
Right, here's your sign.
Yeah, I'll shoot your kid.
Uh-huh.
And the flashback at the beginning with Lori talking about how closed up he was before the whole zombie apocalypse. I think this was meant to juxtapose that and show him breaking down and opening up and showing his emotions more.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's one of the big points of this episode.
Right.
So, yeah, I think you're right.
I imagine someone else has pointed this out, but did you notice Walt's product in Daryl's stash? Yes, but you were the first to point it out. Also pointed out by Tom G., Matthew A., Joe, Drew M., and Brian W.
And all of Reddit.
Yeah. I probably won't do that every week, but we were a little light on the feedback, so I figured I'd take the time to scrape it all.
Cool.
Suddenly I'm feeling the urge to write some fan fiction involving Heisenberg inadvertently developing the zombie infection as he's concocting something to take out his next big adversary.
Yeah.
Or the DEA.
Yeah.
It's a poisoning. It's ricin gone wrong is what causes zombie apocalypse.
I like it. I like it. It's funny also that we think 15 to 20 messages is a small amount of feedback now.
Oh, yeah. Well, compared to the last episode of Breaking Good, my God.
No kidding.
Joe says, just Joe, one Walking Dead complaint I have is not much happens in 1 hour of Walking Dead compared to especially what happens in every episode of Breaking Bad. Not sure that's a fair criticism because there was a good 3 or 4 episode stretch in Breaking Bad where a lot of fans were like, this is going too slow.
There's one of those in every season, I think.
Right. But somehow Breaking Bad seems to be able to generate tension from phones ringing and Bryan Cranston staring at the camera for 30 seconds.
It's absolutely incredible acting. And this acting in Walking Dead is not bad.
No.
Like, I've certainly seen worse, but I've certainly seen better because I've been watching Breaking Bad.
Right.
And I think that's the main problem here is everyone has seen Breaking Bad, And to have another show on the channel compete with it that isn't Mad Men, because Mad Men is also extremely good.
Yeah, I think AMC could have used a couple weeks in between the one ending the cleanser palette.
I think so. Yeah.
Although I will stand by my criticism of the first episode. It was below mediocre.
Sure. Yeah.
So, Brian W. says, this episode is good and the writing was closer to the comic. I read some posts on Facebook during the show and they were saying it was boring. It's too much like a soap opera and we need more zombies.
Oh, yeah.
They don't understand great drama has great dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet they would think Breaking Bad is boring if Walt didn't kill someone in every episode. So there is
some people I'm sure don't like it.
Yeah.
Walking Dead gets how many views? It got 11 million views, I think, in the premiere.
Uh-huh.
So there's your evidence right there.
Right.
Breaking Bad gets like 4 max.
Right. Moving on, Matthew A. writes on, said that it was a drama. He said that he saw glimpses of the first season in the drama and he enjoyed it immensely. I agree. I think the first season was pretty uneven too.
Mm-hmm.
But, there is the pilot and 2 or 3 other really good episodes in that stretch.
Of course, that's 50%.
Yeah,
50% really good episodes.
Right.
So,
right.
No doubt it's a good show.
Yes.
No doubt. But
that's why we're casting about it.
Exactly. But we want it to always be a good show.
And I'll be the first to say, all you people on that are saying, why are you covering the show? If Walking Dead went a whole season of being like the first season, for first episode for me, we would not do a third season.
Yeah.
And that's still on the table.
Sure. They need a couple more good episodes like tonight's. Or like
they need to
Sunday's
keep the quality at about this level for a couple of string these episodes together, and I'll be happy. I'll be a happy watcher and reviewer.
Yeah,
because I'm not a Walking Dead fan. I feel like I'm more, and I'm not a Breaking Bad fan. I'm closer to a critic.
That's really, I think, the difference between us and a lot of the other Walking Dead podcasts is a lot of the Walking Dead podcasts out there are fans of the show. They're going to watch and like the show no matter what it does, I think. Mm-hmm. It would take something ridiculous to throw them off the scent. We are really about watching good television, whether it be The Wire or Mad Men or Breaking Bad or Walking Dead. We want to watch and deconstruct and report on good television.
Right.
And so when we have a show that's really good by most standards, The Walking Dead, it's disappointing when it doesn't live up to that reputation.
Right.
And if we can show you the ways that it has failed, like episode 1 was, I think that's kind of what we're out to do. We're not out to just say, hey, we really liked this. Yay, rah, go Walking Dead.
Yeah, because I want the show to be good, and if I don't get invited to Comic-Con panels, well, fuck it.
I want all of television to be good.
Yes.
I don't just want to watch the shows that I like.
Right.
I want it all to be good, so I can watch it all.
I think we're going through a golden age of television. I want that trend to continue and not to be, pulled down by the Jersey Shore, which we also cover.
In a
very different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, our friends do after they get blown
Blitzed.
out of their mind.
Pixelated.
Pixelated. He said, aside from all that, I think the new cast of characters, getting back to Matthew's email, I think the new cast of characters brings a lot to the table, especially the vet. I hope they stick around for a while. Mm-hmm. I've not read the comics, nor do I have any intention to, so this is all new territory to me. Enjoying it quite well in the absence of Breaking Bad. Yeah, we've read the comics a little bit, but we're making a point that we only discuss comic things after in the spoiler section.
I read the comics going into the first season, so it's been a long time since I've read the comics.
Right, but there's some things.
There's some big points.
We have there's people that are nervous about it. We play music, give you 30 seconds to switch off the podcast before we talk about it, and we consider everything from the comics, even stuff that seems like it was covered in the first season that might not come back around. I'm not going to discuss anything from the comics because if you want to remain pure for the show, I respect that. So.
Sure.
Mike asks, is it just me or does Norman Reedus look more buff than last season?
Probably. I don't know. If I were on a major television show, I'd be working out all the time.
Well, I mean, he's got his bare arms out there, but I don't know.
His guns?
I don't know that he looks more buff. He looks like he's got, reasonably strong arms.
He looks dirtier.
I mean, Like, I guess he could beat a T-Rex at an arm wrestling competition, but
I don't know about that.
He's putting Dale to shame, but I would say that Shane is about as beefy.
Sure.
But, don't be ashamed of admiring the male physique. I mean, if you go back and dig into the Blue Yonder archive,
yeah,
me and you get pretty homoerotic about Schwarzenegger
some
and
badasses,
Stallone,
man.
And yeah, it's natural to feel attraction to that much concentrated badass.
Because you want to be that person, right?
You want to be with that person.
Not with. Don't
you
put with
smell
in there.
Their musk.
I just leave it at you want to be that, not with.
You
want to be with?
I
Arnold
got called out
Schwarzenegger.
for being closeted. And I'm not going to keep my man crushes under wraps, man. Don't try to repress me.
Okay, do what you want to do. Whatever makes you feel good.
Okay, so that's all the feedback we got.
Great.
Let's ready to kick it to spoilers.
I am.
Let's talk about
tell them where they can find us.
Baldmove.com throughout the week, and we'll announce it on Twitter and Facebook, so you don't have to necessarily come back to the site every day, but it'd be awesome for hits if you did.
Yeah, go check out my article that I posted yesterday about why The Walking Dead will probably not satisfy a lot of zombie fanboys.
Also, every Friday, I post a survival critique of the preceding week's episode, where I basically, and I do it in a tongue-in-cheek fashion, I lay out scenarios where the survivor did one thing, what I think they should have done instead, and then the reasons for it
in a humorous tone.
Yeah, so if you want something to read over lunch on Friday or over the weekend, I hope you enjoy that. I got some feedback on that I'm going to be incorporating into the article, not the cast. If you want to keep up with this, we're also going to consolidate all of our social media efforts under facebook.com/baldmove on Facebook. We've got separate feeds for Breaking Good, and Walking Dead. We're going to push those into Bald Move because we've got people on our Breaking Bad section commenting about Walking Dead, on Bald Move commenting about Walking Dead, on the Watching Dead.
If we start doing other podcasts, Game of Thrones, Mad Men, which we want to do, it'll just get too much to manage.
Right.
So we want to get everybody onto the Bald Move feeds. Twitter, @BaldMove. Go there. I'm tweeting all the time. Where else? Email. How about that?
Watching Dead. We are keeping those separate just for our own sanity. Email us at watchingdead@baldmove.com if you want to send us emails and get your feedback read on the cast. Did I miss anything else?
I don't think so.
We got to give credit for our awesome intro music.
Oh, yeah. My brother.
We need to work that into our actual introduction.
We do. But for now, since we've already done the introduction, my brother actually wrote that. He's got a band called My Stereana. You can find them at mystereanamusic.com, or in the show notes there will be a link to the actual theme song that we use at the beginning and the end of this podcast.
Yep.
So go check that out. It's a pretty cool song. That it has the whole 3.5 minute, almost 4 minute song.
Yeah.
So we only play a little bit of it, and it's really
love
cool.
it. We play it. We actually, the intro music you hear is actually live through our headsets when we play it, and it gets me kind of pumped.
It does, man. It lets me do my intro thing.
It's got a nice dirty sound to it.
And now I'm going to do my outro thing. How about that?
All right.
That's it for this week. If you are keen on spoilers, join us after the music. Until next time, I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we're back. Let's go ahead and get into any spoilers you have. I don't have a whole lot.
Well, we got some from John P., but I want to talk about my stuff first.
You would, you selfish prick.
It's our cast, rather. Shane versus the Fat Man.
Okay.
One of those guys is going to die next week, right?
Yes.
And the only reason I'm putting this in the spoilers is because Shane is dead at this point already in the comics.
Yeah, Shane was shot by Carl.
Yeah. For trying to hurt his dad.
Huge spoiler. God, I hope only the people with the spoilers
God damn it,
around.
It's after the spoiler music. No apologies.
Yeah, okay.
You got what's coming to you.
Huge spoiler. Shane is dead. Carl shoots him.
A lot of people are saying it's going to be Otis dying. But I don't know, because in the comic, Shane dies. Honestly, they're breaking with continuity, and Kirkman says it's deliberate to kind of keep fans on their toes, so that unlike Game of Thrones, where if you read the book, you've seen the series, and vice versa. It's not necessarily bad. I actually watched the series first, then read the books. Thought it was fantastic. There's people done the opposite, but it is an interesting approach to basically this is inspired. The characters are drawn from, but they're throwing significant curves about how this stuff is going. So I almost wonder if Shane's going to be the one that dies.
Maybe. I wish that. Well, here's my thing. Can the writers let go of the Shane and Laurie plot at this point? Has it played out? I don't think it's played out. The Shane, Laurie, Rick triangle has not played out.
No.
And I think they're hinging a lot of this season on that.
Do you think both can survive the encounter?
No. I think if anything, I actually read this an interesting idea on Reddit today, which was Otis is going to make it back, but he's going to be bit in the process, and there will be a struggle on whether or not to kill him.
I read on Reddit
between the survivors that we know, our group, and the people in the farm who don't want to kill him.
I read on Reddit that there's some speculation that Otis actually sacrifices himself.
That would be cool too,
as a deliberate distraction away from the zombies to atone for, because if he doesn't,
because he shot Carl.
If he doesn't, the little kid's going to die, and he's like, it's better for me to die than the little kid. Which that would be noble as hell. Yeah,
that guy's been a stand-up guy. I could see him doing that.
I'd feel sad because I actually kind of like Otis. I like the guy playing him.
I do too. Yeah, and they actually made a point about that too. Apparently, he was in some other shows, and he sticks around for about a season usually.
Really?
And then he's out, so he may live through this. The other big spoiler here is what's going to happen with this farm. Like in the comic book, we know that. Do you know this? I might be spoiling this for you too.
He's keeping his family,
and neighbors and stuff in the barn. Yeah, as zombies. Mm-hmm. So we may find out very soon, and that may be kind of a point in the show too.
When I said that I was hinting that this is going to go dark places, I didn't think that. But his speech about how this is all temporary and we'll find the cure, and that would really dovetail well with that plot line.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be creepy as fuck.
Yeah, man. I can picture the scene in my head where Rick finds that.
Oh, God.
And it's fucking horrifying.
God.
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up from the comic book, I don't know how much more I really want to talk about that stuff.
Well, John P. says he's not sure how he'll feel if Shane ends up dying attempting to get the medical equipment back to Rick. He says it's one thing not to follow through with his fate in the comic, but to replace it with a sacrificial attempt to save Carl would be a bit much, I think. Well, maybe he'll survive, and Carl will still have to take care of business. No worries, that's an early comic spoiler, and I'll refrain from later comic spoilers that may or may not appear in one way or another in the show. Hey, man, don't worry about it. Since this is a spoiler section, I will ask you, just to make my life easier and to have a better chance of your email being read, that if you have spoiler stuff, kind of put them in the one, like either the top or bottom of the section if you're mixing non-spoilers and spoiler takes.
Yeah.
Because else I'm either going to have to take your whole email and put it in a spoiler, or I'm probably going to read one or the other, because cutting and pasting it 2 or 3 times when I got 50 emails or 100 emails is not going to happen.
Sure.
When I got a full-time job and 2 hours of prep for the show.
Yep.
So you feel free to put spoilers in it, because obviously if it's in the spoiler section, I don't care. And just, if you want to be nice to Aaron, please split them up into discrete parts. He said, the reason I like the comic is because it's just instinct on Carl's part to save his father. So you think they'll recycle that plot after, like, as a curveball?
No, too many people have been shot already, honestly. I don't
accidentally.
Yeah, and it seems like they're out of the woods for a little while.
But didn't Carl got shot in the comics just like this, right? Didn't he? I thought he did.
I think he did, and then when he recovers, he has the gun. So I'm assuming that the gun that Daryl found in that tent that Andrea now has, that Laurie had for a while, is the gun, if they're going to do it, that Carl's going to use to shoot Shane.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because they made a big deal about Daryl finding that. Why would he find it? Why wouldn't he just end up giving her his gun or another gun from the stash or something? They made it a point to show us, hey, Daryl found a random gun.
Chekhov's gun?
Sure, why not?
All right. Have we had it for this episode?
I think so. I don't